How to Stop Worrying About What Other People Think of You, Part 2. Last time we talked about how we can create a new mindset, keeping things in perspective and letting go of perfection. For Part 2, we're going to talk about more beneficial tips that will help you change for the better. From getting to know yourself to being your own friend. There is How to Stop Worrying About What Other People Think of You, Part 2. Welcome to Life Hack Line, that channel that roars the secrets of life. Make sure to watch part 1 of this video first, then come back until the end because we don't want you to miss a thing. And if you don't know us yet, we at Life Hack Lion are specialized in creating life hack ideas, tips and tricks, content that are fun and can absolutely make your life easier. Carrying off where we left at, number 4, get to know yourself. How well do you really know yourself? We are all aware of the things that society wants us to do, or the people our families want us to be. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in projections of who we are, losing touch with our core values, needs, and desires. If you don't know yourself very well, it's difficult to choose a life path that makes you feel happy and fulfilled. You may also find yourself getting into relationships that don't really suit you, or you may feel lonely because no one really knows the real you. The importance of self-awareness. Let's talk about the importance of self-awareness. As noted at the outset, increased self-awareness has wide-ranging positive ramifications. However, one of the most important consequences is increased emotional intelligence. When you're more emotionally intelligent, you're better able to identify and manage your feelings as they come up, neither repressing them nor being lost in them. Emotionally intelligent people are also more at peace with who they really are, focusing more on meeting their own standards than the standards set by others. Self-awareness and high emotional intelligence are also correlated with greater levels of success. For example, recent psychological studies indicate that many top business leaders have both of these traits, and that plays a key role in their continued achievements. So whether you want to excel in your job or are looking to improve the most important relationships in your life or just want to feel more at peace with your own company, you have a lot to gain from working on self-awareness. 7 ways to get to know yourself. Before practicing any techniques to get to know yourself, it's important to be open to whatever you find. After all, you may be surprised by some aspects of who you are, especially if you find it difficult to disengage from the judgments of others. However, once you've armed with an accepting, curious attitude, you should find the process of self-discovery enjoyable and exciting. Here are 7 of the best ways to start getting to know a wide range of aspects of yourself, along with a few of the most prominent benefits you can expect to gain from taking each step. Number 1, get to know your personality. Firstly, let's look at understanding your core personality. This is something you can do by reflection alone, but making notes and writing lists can help you make better sense of information you have. Ask yourself the following questions. What 5 to 10 traits do I feel define me? What 5 to 10 words would others choose to describe me? Which role do I play in my group of friends? How would a stranger see me? What do I want others to think about me? In addition, give some thought to the major decisions you've made in life, both good and regrettable. Why did you make these choices? Which were authentic expressions of who you are? Which are made under pressure from others? Consider how your past has shaped your future self, giving particular weight to early life experiences. Often, what we go through as children plays a key role in creating patterns, preferences, and needs for the future. Number 2, get to know your core values. On a related note, it's important to think not only about your traits, but also about your values. In other words, what matters to you most. Psychologists often suggest that most of us have around 8 core values and that these play the biggest role in motivating our choices at work, at home, and in our everyday life. Make a list of the 8 values that you think can guide you. In many cases, these will be moral commitments that you have. For example, through honesty, compassion, open-mindedness, and so on. However, others will reflect where you find the most joy in life, such as values like learning, fun, or having diverse experiences. You can learn even more about yourself if you spend some time thinking about how and when these values developed. Did your parents model them for you, or did your values evolve in opposition to what you saw when you were growing up? Number 3, get to know your body. When we think about self-knowledge, it's easy to focus on the psychological at the expense of the physical. However, getting to know your body is just as important as getting to know the intricacies of your own mind. All too often, our bodies are treated as the enemy, or as mere afterthought. Learning more about your body helps you to set realistic goals and know your own limits, as well as helping you feel more comfortable in your own skin. As well as reflecting on your physical capabilities, be open to trying new things to see if they suit your body. Meanwhile, practice mindfulness meditation such as body scanning exercises in order to allow yourself to feel more in tune with your breathing and your movements. If you struggle with body image issues, challenge yourself to think of 5 things you love about what your body can do. Number 4, journal. We've talked a lot about making various lists and notes, but a more general habit of journaling can also play a key role in boosting your self-knowledge. If you write in a journal every day, self-reflection becomes your default. You start to learn to look past your superficial reactions to see your underlying needs and emotions. Keeping a journal also helps you identify your own voice, distinguishing your inner voice from the voices of people whose approval may be seeking. You don't just have to follow the standard approach of writing a bit about each day either. For example, you can journal about what you eat, what you see, what you dream, or what you think. You can also draw instead of writing or create collages. If you're not sure what style works for you, alternate through the course of a week and consider mixing approaches. As long as you keep a journal, you'll be working towards greater self-knowledge in some way. Number 5, identify your strengths and weaknesses. Getting to know yourself is all about developing a real picture of who you are, including the parts you are proud of and the parts that you struggle with from time to time. Conduct an inventory of your strengths and weaknesses, starting with your strengths. Think about what you like about yourself and also which parts of yourself consistently elicit the most positive feedback. For example, perhaps you're often being told that you are extremely patient with others, or you know that you have a great imagination. When it comes to identifying your weaknesses, ask yourself whether there are common themes in your failures or in disappointing episodes of your life. In addition, consider whether you are often asked to work on a specific aspect of your character. For example, perhaps your bosses regularly highlight that you don't speak up during meetings, indicate that a potential weakness is a lack of self-confidence. Number 6, have a life vision and mission. We've talked about having life vision and mission before in our How to Know Your Life Purpose video. But while thinking about the past is vital for getting to know yourself, making plans for the future is just as important. Instead of just coasting through life and being reactive to the behaviors of others, ask yourself what you view as your life's mission. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Where do you see yourself in 2 years, in 10, or in 20? Keep in mind that life's mission doesn't need to be something dramatic or world-changing. Think of your mission as being defined by what makes you feel authentic, excited, and passionate. Meanwhile, giving some thought to know this mission might help others, even on a small scale. It's also worth noting that you can have multiple missions. For example, you might have the goal of being a certain kind of parent to your children, while also having a separate mission related to your career. Number 7, question your automatic thoughts. Finally, many of us have a tendency to experience automatic thoughts that are pessimistic, self-undermining, and irrational. If you don't know yourself very well, you may just accept these cognitive distortions at face value. Subsequently, you may then experience a low mood and feel bad about yourself. In contrast, when you have higher levels of self-awareness, you can catch these distortions as they come up, redirecting your mind to more realistic thoughts. For example, turn "I'll never get this project done" into "I'm struggling with this project right now, but after a rest, I know I can finish it." Meanwhile, spin "I'm not good enough to do X" into "I feel insecure about X, but it's worth trying to do it because this is something I'm passionate about." In time, the more positive thoughts should be more automatic. Back to our main topic at number 5. Find your tribe. Tribe, a social division in a traditional society consisting of families or communities linked by social, economic, religious, or blood ties, with a common culture and dialect, typically having a recognized leader. It's human nature to search for belonging. From our first day of preschool and well into adulthood, we gravitate towards those who reflect the kind of qualities we admire. To say we are looking for our tribe means that we're looking for people who share commonalities or possess the traits we aspire to adapt. Whether it's a family, community, or a group of fellow practitioners, our tribe is important because it reflects our values while simultaneously satisfying our need for companionship. That being said, finding a tribe is hard. That's why there are so many movies where high school students end up eating lunch alone. And as we bloom into adulthood and lose the setting of forced social interaction, it can even be more difficult to find authentic connections. Doing so requires effort, authenticity, and confidence. Number 6, allow yourself to be vulnerable. It can be terrifying to go against the grain, speak out, take a risk, or face disapproval, but decide what matters to you, trust yourself, and go for it. We don't grow by always playing it safe. We grow by allowing ourselves a chance to fail. Number 7, accept a helping hand. The anxiety you feel about what others think can sometimes overcome with a little self-awareness. But in some cases, especially for those undergoing trauma or mental health issues, professional help can help you get to the root of your feelings. Allow yourself to reach out for the care you need rather than prolonging your suffering. Number 8, be your own friend. It's a tough reality, but you will never be able to make everyone like you, no matter what you do. But look on the brighter side, no one else can do it either. So accept the twinges that will inevitably come when you realize you haven't made a connection with someone. And focus instead on a goal that will take you further towards being the kind of person you want to be, learning to like yourself, flaws and all. What do you think of these tips on easing your social anxieties? Let us know in the comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Lifehack Lion and make sure to hit the notification bell to be the first to watch our new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and until our next boring Lifehack Lion video.